Konami Studios. We made it. We are at the end of the initial 6 issues of Empyre. Whether or not you read the tie-ins, that's up to you, but I'm not, because I don't really want to. I want to say this before we get into this a little bit more. Endings are really hard, especially for a big event, just because how do you wrap up? I think doing the initial story, like the beginning of the story, that's pretty easy, but wrapping it up can sometimes be tricky. Now, I'm not saying this was a particularly bad ending, I'm just saying it left a lot to be desired, and it felt very much like we were going hard before, but if we just try harder, we'll beat them this time, instead of actually having any real resolution or anything else happen for the characters. It just became a lot of like, power, friendship will help us win kind of stuff, and it just really was annoying. I don't know why. So we still got the attack of Wakanda. We know the pyre is coming, which I guess is exploding the sun, so that's gonna happen and destroy the world too. Hulkling is revealed to be an imposter, so now we're fighting on the Kree ship. They're taking him down pretty easily, but the pyre is still about to explode off, so Carol and Johnny and Wiccan go to the sun, and what the plan is, Johnny's going to absorb all the power of the sun, which seems very stupid. I don't think Johnny could do that. I think he would get hurt from trying that, and even he's like, this is a bad idea. Johnny is smart. We gotta start letting him be smart. Johnny is not dumb. He could definitely know that's too much power for him. So we'll come back to that in a bit. We cut back to like Tony and Reed. They're having their conversation. This is where I'm like, okay, we're going to see something cool happen from both these guys, right? They're going to have the plan that kind of saved the world. They don't really. They kind of like formulate some ideas, but in the end result, it just kind of comes down to, oh, Reed's going to put on this Iron Man armor and go fight in Wakanda with his family, and Tony's not going to do anything, really. It was so weird, because I just thought Tony's going to be the one to have the big plan that's going to save them all, and he didn't really. I'm sure he formulated a bunch of stuff that could help, but it was more just like, we'll just beat them to death and show that they're weak, and that's kind of what happened. So we go back. She-Hulk doesn't die. I'm sure, just like everyone else out there, I thought She-Hulk was going to die here, and that's how we set up the immortal She-Hulk story coming from Al Ewing. But it's not. They just kind of like beat the green goo off of her, and she becomes normal. But while she is kind of on the verge of dying, she realizes that there's a door that she sees. So now she is aware of the existence of the green door, and I guess that's how we're going to tie into it. I thought it'd be cooler if she just died. I think that's a way cooler story than just having her survive here. There's no casualties here at all, so it is what it is. So the fight's done. She-Hulk's back normal. That whole group comes to Wakanda, and they start fighting there. Now, there's one cool moment in here. I don't know if this was planned or not, but it just made me really happy. While all the forces are invading Wakanda, the Katati are fighting with everyone there. Everyone thinks Black Panther got hurt or T'Challa got hurt, but he slowed down his body, I guess his heart rate, so it seemed like he died, but he just kind of faked his death and came out of the ashes and kicked the ass out of Swordsmaster. Or Swordsmaster. Is it Swordsman? Who cares? Who cares? He's not coming back. They're not going to have Swordsman come back. But that was a really nice moment. I don't think that was in response to what was happening with Chadwick in real life. I just think having it come out now, where we see a really badass moment from T'Challa where he's like, he faked his own death in a sense. He comes back and kind of wipes out the leader of the Katati forces on his own. I think that's a really nice moment and something that made me smile, just knowing what's going on in the real world. I think that was really cool. And I think it was the best part of the book, because it just definitely felt right in the times we live in where this is what we saw. I was really happy with that, so props to Marvel. I know it's a bad thing to say that it's great timing for what happened in the real world, but it was just nice to see that. It was a really nice moment. I know it was probably unplanned, but that's still really nice. So yeah, here come the heroes to Wakanda. Thing, Mantis, Sue, She-Hulk, and Captain America comes with an onslaught of Avengers, everybody who wasn't in the book. And if I'm not mistaken, in this scene, please correct me if I'm wrong, do we see Wiccan in this scene in like the very back of the book? But then he's also in space with Carol and Johnny. I'm not sure if that's what I saw. I might go back and look. I'm definitely going to put it in here so you guys can see if that's what it is. If that's a mistake or not, please let me know. I'd be very fascinated to see what that was. But we also have Thor come in, and Thor's got a new power. He can control the plant life and kind of destroy it all in one big blip. And that would have been really nice to see if we got that Thor tie into this book. Why is that the one you canceled? I don't really know. Why do we have the X-Men ones going on? They didn't appear in this book. So why do we do the X-Men titles? I guess because they sell. But Thor, if he has a power for the main book that could come in, maybe we should have kept that book going. Just saying. I think it would have worked well. So yeah, they defeat the Gatati. There's a moment where Mantis is kind of talking to Quiet like, I failed you. You shouldn't have done this. You shouldn't have been this. But he's a messiah now. He thinks he's a messiah, so he can come back and try again and lead his people. But they surrender pretty easily once Swordsman's destroyed. And back on the spaceship, Hulkling beats up his grandmother and takes his throne back. And then while the Pyre's still coming, Super Skrull, Captain Glory, and somebody else show up. And with the power of friendship, Super Skrull and Johnny are able to contain the Pyre for some reason. Or it just stops. I don't even know. Like, it was just an ending. It was just an ending. It didn't feel like it was anything. If there's really no stakes, and maybe Marvel told them, you guys can't kill She-Hulk, you can't kill T'Challa, you can't have any real stakes in here, and that's what it felt like. It just felt nothing really mattered in the end. The only real differences we've had here, Hulkling is now the official Emperor. Maybe Wiccan's gonna stay with him. There's a unity between the Kree and the Skrull, but we kind of saw that in Incoming when they already had the unity going on. And Reed Richards wore an Iron Man armor for a bit, and I guess Thor can control plant life. That's about all the new stuff, and none of that really matters because we're not going to see Reed in the suit again. Thor's probably never going to use that power again. Whoever takes up the ranks and does something with Hulkling, we'll have to wait and see, but if the movies do Hulkling, and Hulkling is still the Empyre, the Emperor, we're probably not going to have him be an Emperor for too long. He'll come back to Earth and be a young Avenger again. So not much happened. Power Friendship saved the day. She-Hulk didn't die. Fantastic Four, okay. We get some scenes actually with Spider-Man and Wolverine because they are in the current Fantastic Four book with Valeria and Franklin. So, I mean, throw them in there, Dan Slott. I mean, you're writing both of those anyway, so just chuck it in there and maybe you can get more sales on that book because Fantastic Four is not doing too hot at Marvel, even though it should be your flagship title. So, it's not a lot of great stuff in this final issue. I will say I'm kind of let down, but then again, if I had to write the ending of a big story like this, where you're literally ending a 1,000-year war between the Kree and the Skrull, and you have to throw in the Fantastic Four and the Avengers, and you're using Hulkling, I don't know if I could write it any better. Maybe I would find a magic amulet that made it all go away. I don't know, but that's just an okay book. It was an okay finale. I'm going to give Empyre number 6 a 7 out of 10. Artwork still looks great. Story's a little lackluster. About as good as the rest of them, honestly. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. And as always, you can check me out on Instagram, Patreon, Twitter, all that good stuff. And I'll see you in the next one. Have fun. Stay safe. Good luck.